Well, good morning. I've weathered the walk-in last night, and I've arrived at this really pretty lovely little lodge that I'm just kind of walking around in the kitchen here. You can get a sense, and then out on a porch that it's a little bright to see. But in fact, let me turn the camera around, and this is just a little sense of this place. It's really pretty cute. We've got billiards, has a kitchen where you can cook your own eggs in the morning, and I'm walking out onto the front porch, and you can kind of see the vistas, and you also can see how far I am from the town of Julian. So, let me switch things back around again. And so I did hiking, and I think I mentioned yesterday it ended up being a little over a 16-mile day with my hike on the road from Julian up to this place. And then some friends from the trail had called and checked on me, and they had some resources of people that I could call to try to get a ride back to the trailhead in the morning. And so that's this morning. And so I've done that. I actually went on a Trail Angels of Julian website and posted my need and got back a reply that they'll be here to pick me up at 9 o'clock and take me back to the trailhead. So that's good news. And I will pick up the trail again and continue on my journey. So a bit of an adventure last night, but I did have a very nice night's sleep, and it was a very nice room. And I think all things considered, a good value for what I got and what this place is. I think I am the remaining guest here right now. And so it's basically a home that has bedrooms that is unoccupied, that they have set up for guests, and you book it through a booking agent. So I went through bookings.com and came up with this. And honestly, it's with the ride, it's great. I'm loving it now. But I wasn't loving it so much when I was trying to figure out how I could get back to a place where I would have a chance to hitch a ride. So anyway, things are looking up. And I'm very grateful to everyone for honestly the help I've received all along the way here. And so that's good. Just to report back on the heart rate issue, I do think that's altitude. It seems to bounce back down as soon as I finish expending energy long enough. And, normally at sea level, when I would hike and carry my pack, my heart rate would run between 95 and 105. And of course, at rest, it would be around 70. And at night, sleeping, it would go down to even in the high 50s. And it continues to do that. And it's just that my resting heart rate at this altitude under this load seems to be around 120 and going up to 135, depending on whether I'm going uphill or not, or the amount of energy being expended. And so I think that's all okay. I'm certainly having no chest symptoms. Feeling no, heart rate irregularity. It seems to be a normal sinus rhythm, and I think this is just something that's going to have to be adjusted to. So we're pressing on, and again, trying to do so in modest ways, not trying to reach out much past 10 miles a day, although we kind of overstepped that yesterday, but things are what they are. So I will check in a little later on. I may record a bit when the trail angel picks me up and drops me off at the Sunrise Highway trailhead, which is where I can resume the trail and hopefully meet up with my friends that I've made along the way, and hope to reconnect. And if not, make some new friends. So it's all good any way we go. So anyway, signing off for now, and I will be checking in through the day. I'm going to try to get to be a little better about when I start and stop my tracker for the day, because you can see that I left it on when I got into the person's car who took me from the trailhead towards Julian. I realized it about halfway back and turned it off. So all that mileage wasn't trail mileage yesterday that was being recorded on the tracker. It was trail mileage combined with a little bit of highway driving shut off before I got to Julian and started my 4-mile walk back up to Tucker Peak Lodge, and the peak is the key word here. It was an uphill slog. So I'll be checking in later. Again, all is well. Well, again, the vistas really have not changed much. It looks like this just about the whole walk, and so I'm not going to belabor it, but this is an excellent representative of what we're seeing today on the trail. So again, just another view of how this high desert mountain hike looks. I think you've probably seen enough. It's like this all the way today. Well, I'm checking in for the evening report, and you can see I've just gotten into camp and made camp in this little nook back here, trying to get out of the wind. It's going to be a windy night tonight. I'll just kind of turn around as I'm talking here so you can kind of see what things look like. But I think you've kind of seen it all day on some of the pictures that I've done, and I didn't try to repeat that a lot because honestly it looks very similar in most of the to most of the pictures that I've put out. It's very a large landscape. It's expansive. It's awe-inspiring in many ways. And I really had a great hike today. I got dropped off at 10 o'clock at the trailhead and began to hike, and as good fortune had it, came up behind my friend Thomas, and we hiked together today, and we're going to hike tomorrow as well. But he stopped and broke camp about 2.5 miles back, and I wanted to go a little further because this campsite was a little closer to a water source, and so that's important out here. If you're hiking and just walking, you plan on needing about 1 liter for every 4 miles, unless it's hot, and if it's hot you need more than that. But for dry camping, that is camping where there is no water source nearby, in addition to whatever amount you need to walk both in and out of that campsite, you need an additional 2 liters. So that can mean you can end up with some pretty ponderous water carries. So I prefer to avoid that if possible. I like being close, use all the water I want, and fill up in the morning before I leave and drink all I can before I leave. And that's one of the keys out here. You just learn to really hydrate when you can, and then store up in your water bottles and make the water go the distance. And I haven't really run short thus far, and my strategy has been overall pretty good, although I'm concerned that maybe I'm not appreciating how much hydration I need, because I noticed that I say getting a liter every 4 miles is what is recommended. I'm not sure I actually achieve that goal, but I'm working on it. I'm trying to add plenty of electrolytes and make sure that I'm not getting deficient there. But at any rate, good day. Met up back with the folks that I'm hiking with. Thomas is going to come down the trail. And I'm going to kind of wait here in the camp and have it broken and ready to go. And we are going to hike out to a place called Scissors Crossing, where I'm going to have possibly arrange to have a trail angel meet us, or we're going to hitch a ride into Julian and probably stay at the Stagecoach RV and Campground, which is where most of the PCT hikers are staying. And from there, you can get rides into Julian through Trail Angels. And that was the big discovery of my fiasco, really, into Julian last night, was just learning how that system works. And you know, out here we don't have Uber and we don't have taxis. What we have is a network of Trail Angels, and they tend to have organized Facebook groups, and you put a query out and say, I need a ride from here to here, and if somebody, and I'm willing to pay expenses, and they will answer you in usually reasonably short order and say, well, we can be there at this time. And we say, great, and they show up and make the transportation and make it all happen. So that was kind of a discovery for me. I'd always thought of Trail Angels as being these people who bring drinks and treats and hamburgers and hot dogs out to Trailside to basically host the PCT hikers that are coming through. And there is that as well. But this Trail Angel network for transportation is really a key piece of infrastructure that allows us to get around. So, you know, all things considered, when I think about the fiasco that was yesterday, I'm glad it happened, because what it did is it taught me a lot about how to use that network and how to access it, and become a little more comfortable with what all it offers. And so I think, you know, at the end of the day, it was probably time well invested and a lesson well learned. So it's going to be a windy night, it looks like, but I don't think it should be terribly cold from what I can see. And tomorrow's hike out to the area called Scissors Crossing, where we either hitch a ride or get a Trail Angel to pick us up, is probably on the order of about 9 miles from here. So not anything too bad. But again, just wrapping it up for today. Overall good day, continuing to learn a lot, realize what a novice I am at all this, and am kind of getting some hard lessons, but well-learned lessons, and again, it is very enjoyable being out here. For all its trials and hardship, it really offers a spectacular atmosphere. And I just find myself, like today I hiked alone a lot before I met up with Thomas, and even after I left him a few miles back. And it just gives lots of time for, thoughts and reflections. And I can tell you, it's like going to therapy. So I'm delighted to be here and continue to be that. And so I'm going to check off for now. And thank you for watching. Till tomorrow. Bye-bye.